Behold, the Ferrari. More than a car, the iconic schoolboy dream. And none is more desirable than the gorgeous 355. And if you've got £90,000 to spend on a sports car, there really is only one choice. True, if you want to be a bit more practical, you might go for the 911 Turbo. But now, if you want to be a bit more British, you might go for this. The race-bred Ascari FGT. The Ascari is very sleek, very yellow, and with a 4-litre BMW V8 in the back, it's a thrill to drive. With only a dozen being built each year, it's also very exclusive, as well as being an instant crowd puller on the road. Not bad for a car made in Wiltshire. And when it comes to accelerating, the Ascari goes from 0 to 60 in just under 5 seconds. Second gear will take you to about 80 miles an hour. And in fact, the gearing's probably a bit too long for road use. You need first gear for the tighter junctions. But then, that's my only problem. What's the problem? Well, there is some work involved in getting the performance, especially in this prototype, which has rather heavy controls, with the steering in particular a real bicep builder. But fear not, power assistance is on the way. In these wet and greasy conditions, the handling of the Ascari is a little bit of an acquired taste. The heavy steering means that you don't really have too much of a feel for when that back's going to let go. And with this sort of power, it does let go. Don't try this at home, kids. With a car like this, the only way to really safely find the limit is to find a great big space of tarmac and then just go quicker and quicker and whoop. But you see how quickly that broke away. It all happened a bit sooner than I expected. What the Ascari does have is impact. From certain angles it's striking, every inch a £90,000 car, mean and low enough to be from the stable of Lamborghini. The rear wing looks average, but the shape still works with brutal short overhangs. The term racer on the road fits perfectly, and a 540 horsepower twin turbo version is planned. But the BMW standard 286 feels plenty enough. Too much, in fact, for town driving. However, Ascari's choice of the expensive but highly developed engine, as opposed to the ubiquitous Rover V8 lump, means it's very tractable at all times. Wherever you go, there's always plenty of attention. But what you really need is a bit of open road. For long-distance travel, the Ascari is remarkably refined. Cruising along at 70 miles an hour in 5th gear, the BMW engine is ticking over at just 2,600 revs. The radio works very well, the heating and ventilation works well, and these leather seats are surprisingly comfortable. So when it comes to road use, the Ascari certainly doesn't suffer the discomforts of a racing car. But you do suffer from the sheer effort needed to drive at slower speeds. And there's a fair bit of tram lining that sees the car dart this way and that as odd bumps and cambers lead it astray. The Ascari demands to be driven faster to escape its low-speed handicaps and explore its 170-mile-an-hour potential. But of course, you can't do that on the roads. It's very illegal and would quite rightly attract the attention of the boys in blue. No, I hadn't been speeding. They just wanted to have a closer look. I kept the speeding for the test track. And it's a track that best suits the Ascari. It's a stunning-looking racer that rates highly as a driving experience. But despite the fun I've had, unless you're determined to buy British or determined to be very individual, when it comes to a road car, I know where I'd spend my 90 grand.